Hello folks, thanks for joining me. I'm sorry it's been a while. I think it's been over a month since my last vid, and that's because I've had quite a bit on, not helped by a second dose of the dreaded Rona, which I've only tested negative a couple of days ago. It's knocked me for six a little bit, so I'm puffing and panting even more than usual because I'm pretty unfit and pretty breathless. Anyway, it's still good to be outdoors after being indoors for a good week or more. Cool, this post-viral fatigue thing's a real bugger. It's meant I've had to have a rest and take on some fluids. Didn't really want to. I shall have to be fairly quiet because I'm quite near a mountain bike track. There's been a couple just come past. They didn't see me, but I could just about see them. But hopefully, with it being the last sort of hour before the sunset, there won't be too many more now. So this is a new spot for me. Quite chuffed with it. I didn't think I'd find a flat spot in these woods because they're very hilly, but I have done. And I'm trying out my new DD A-frame mesh tent. Now I'm aware that quite a few people have had these recently and been using them, and I've had my eye on one for a while, or something similar anyway, because I'm trying to find a way to do more woodland camping in the summer, because generally I don't like it. There's too many biting insects in particular, and even the slugs as well I'm not too keen on. So hopefully this will give me the feeling of being sort of open under a tarp and in a bivvy, but keep all those nasty critters away from me. As it happens, there aren't many around at the moment. I don't know if it's the sunshine, but I'm quite surprised. I came and did a recce here the other day and was bitten to bits, but there don't seem to be any around now. Let's hope it stays that way. Right, I'm going to get my dinner on then before the sun sets. Okay, so I've got the Alpkit brew kit on a rolling boil there. Get it down to a simmer if I can. And then in here I have, very luxurious, a tin of beans and sausages, but not just any beans and sausages, oh no, these are Branston beans and sausages, which if you've had them, I'm sure you'll agree, there's no going back to Heinz. I've got some cheddar cheese in there as well. Now I'm actually going to try boiling in the bag in one of these reusable silicone pouches. So I'm not sure if it'll work, but we'll give it a go. Okay, I'll just let that warm through in there for a few minutes. Oh, that looks good. All the cheese has melted. Well, I'm in the tent. It's very roomy, plenty of headroom all the way along. I've got all my kit in here, lots and lots of room to lie down, etc. So hopefully it'll be a comfortable night's sleep. Just gonna relax and have a bit of bourbon and wait for it to get a bit darker. Well, it's getting on for midnight now, so I think it's time to get in the sleeping bag. I'll see you in the morning. Morning. Well, I'm glad I brought a warm bag because it got quite cold last night, single figures. But I slept well. Not much of a
dawn chorus. It's quite eerily quiet actually. Lovely morning. Right, I'll just quickly take you through the setup. Tarp is a Helicon Tex Super Tarp Small. It's 2 metres by 2.5, so it's sort of British Army Basher size, I believe. And it's only just big enough to cover this new mesh tent. It was perfect last night actually because it just kept the dew off me. It's quite wet on top. But if it was going to be very rainy, and certainly if there was any sideways wind, I'd want a bit more coverage. I'd use the 3x3 tarp. The mesh tent itself, the DD Superlight A-frame mesh tent, I've got connected to the ridgeline. I've made these little bungee and line lock sort of guys here that are attached via Prussiks. There's a little clip on the end. That just keeps it nice and taut. You can of course use walking poles either end or sticks. Let's come around this side. On the whole, I'm very chuffed with it so far. It's certainly very spacious. I like this big door at the front. I've kept that open all morning because it's typical, isn't it? I haven't seen hardly a single bug But then I'm sure if I hadn't have had it and I'd have slept without it, just in the open, I'd have probably had them all over me. Let's take you inside. The only slight criticism, and only time will tell whether it's fair or not, is I can't help thinking this ground sheet, look at it, it's like a plastic bag, it's really, really thin. It reminds me of the stuff my Hilleberg Enan is made of. I just don't know whether that's sturdy enough for every kind of woodland floor, but it's been okay. It feels clammy as well, but we'll see. I did have a bivvy bag just in case there was excess moisture in here, which there wasn't actually. The tarp did its job. It's my Snug Pack Special Forces bivvy with the zip on the front, and then the Mountain Hardware Lamina. Nice warm bag, which I was glad of because it was chilly for July. All went into my Osprey 68 litre rucksack. So it wasn't the smallest or even lightest pack, to be honest. I brought my Alpkit brew kit, which you may have seen. I used the pan adapter so that I could make a nice sausage and egg sarnie this morning. That's where I was, just down there. Everything packed away, all my rubbish taken with me. As ever, folks, leave no trace. Okay, so I've got a 7 or so mile hike now home. It's just gone 9 o'clock, so I better get going.